I think the patch cycles are becoming less. Like Google now have a continuous patch cycle as opposed to a defined, we're doing it once a week or once every 2 weeks. I was having a moan to someone yesterday about the amount of times my Google Chrome keeps on updating. And I was like, I just don't understand. Like it's updating, like it's having to update like 2-3 times a day at the moment. I just don't understand what's going on. And the surge of finding all these security vulnerabilities and fixing them is why that's happening. We're finding lots of vulnerabilities because of AI. And that means that the hacking side can also find all these vulnerabilities, so they need to be patched.
Cloudflare, they said they've uncovered about 2,000 bugs in their own system. Mozilla said they audited Firefox and they patched 271 vulnerabilities, which is 10 times what they've done in previous scans.
I think the issue is chicken and egg with patching, because it sometimes causes disturbance to the people using the IT systems. So that's normally the issue of patching at speed. I think traditionally for MSPs, they've seen patching as, hey, I need to make sure Windows is up to date or Mac OS is up to date. But it's actually the third-party patching that's more important, like making sure that things like Google, et cetera, are up to date, right? And there's so many bits of software that you do need to up to date, and it's that line. So I think the biggest hole at the moment is how quickly people are patching and making sure that they have third-party patching included in what they're calling patching. The first thing is looking at your patch windows and how often you're patching, because as these things come online, there'll be more and more vulnerabilities found. Like you just spoke about the Firefox one, was it 257 vulnerable? I think the patch cycles are becoming less. Like Google now have a continuous patch cycle as opposed to a defined, we're doing it once a week or once every 2 weeks. So what we need to be mindful of is how often you're patching. So work out what is acceptable from a risk level for you of how often you're going to be patching now. And also the delta of when a patch is released and when you actually patch it. People often look at patch compliance by just percentages and say, well, actually, we're at 95% patch compliance. Well, that doesn't mean that there's not one machine that hasn't been patched for 9 months or one machine that doesn't have this application update for 9 months. I think that's something that is worth looking at. Like, what are those exceptions that aren't getting done? Because again, it only takes one exception to have a problem.